The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space.
Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included.
So, to get over what we're doing, or to go over, I mean, we are digging this out so we can add in the power to our sulfur, and then our sulfur is technically ready to be started. Now we do still have to vacuum out this area so that all of the sulfur stays hot up here and just goes and drips into here. Now, with an atmosphere, it would heat up this area and transfer thermals into the water immediately. We want it to drip in and then flash into sulfur debris in here. We don't want this water to become too hot. We're also doing this pipe. What's this pipe for? This pipe's not even connected in. This pipe is probably for the petroleum. Or not the petroleum, the ethanol. It is. And then we have a second pipe ready for petroleum. And this water is just sitting here because I need to put a single bridge. Right there. To allow all this water to go up there. We'll go through all that. We also opened up a couple more volcanoes. We have the one in the sauna, which I keep forgetting is in there. And then we have these two. This one at the bottom is a regular volcano. Everything else is a minor volcano. So this should give us the most amount of magma and igneous rock. I am going to have to worry about how that drips into this area, so we might want to use obsidian blocks to get past this portion. If I change this to obsidian, we want to go to at least right here. And we want to make sure that doesn't go over on this side either. So I'm going to block this ladder so it doesn't break. And we'll also build this here. Now that I think about it, that might be long enough that the lava can't reach that far. It is! Okay, so if we just put one single tile right there, all of the magma is going to go this way. It's going to melt this one ladder, or both of them. But we won't have magma falling down. We could do the same thing up here, now that I'm thinking about it. So magma can only extend 9 blocks. I'm going to guess that this is the spawn point, or right here, pretty much. So if we go 7 blocks, that should be it. 3. We'll do an extra tile just because I misplaced it, but also because it wouldn't hurt. And then all we'd have to do is wait for it to cool down. Okay. And over here, there's going to be a lot of stuff all over the place because of the steam that this created. The volcano from above. Okay. And this is to the point where carbon dioxide is leaking out of here. So it is ready for us to do metal tiles and just put a bunch of steel metal tiles here. It's another reason why we're stockpiling so much. Okay, and then I think we might spend some time doing some sweep commands. Because there's debris in places where there shouldn't be debris any longer. We're going to need to keep this here just in case we bring in something that off-gasses in that area. Alright, and they're doing various things in here for ethanol. Once we get that going, this is ready to be keyed in. I know we have something disconnected right here. Is this enough to get them started, though? 800 kilograms. I don't think we're going to go through 800 kilograms very quickly. Could be wrong, but we're going to connect this in and see how long it lasts. We'll have more coming in soon. So it's going to be full packets for a little bit, but once it fills this line, it shouldn't be constant pumping. It's already made it up to here. We should see right about now it stops. I very highly doubt that we are going through 10 kilogram packets. If we were going through a full packet, this would be running non-stop. So that being turned off alone tells us that it's not using all of it. So now that we have the nosh beans growing, which they need to be below 0 to continue, this looks like we had some water issues. We actually never tested this with regular pipes. If I do that and then do this, how slowly or quickly does this raise or lower in temperature? It's actually lowering very quickly. We're gonna want insulated stuff in here. I definitely do not have enough igneous rock to do that. Hopefully we're not in too big of an issue there. We do need to get all of this ethanol out of here. I think we are actually working on that. Okay, so that means... Oh, this is already set up for tofu. You should be doing gristleberries non-stop, because you have it there. Do the nosh beans make it all the way over? Let's make sure. Goes up here, keys in. Goes all the way over here, keys into that, comes down, and straight into here. Okay, good. Is there a more efficient way of doing that? Because I did see that we have a way in right here. I don't think it's more efficient one way or the other. Anyway, we still have wood coming in. That's almost done. Oh, that's how we got our igneous rock, because they changed out those ladders for the steel plates. Right, I am going to tell them that's mop. We want a sweep. I'm going to tell them to sweep up this entire thing. There's not too much stuff there, but there's enough for me to have to move it. We were also thinking about doing all of this. I have it on a 1, so they don't do it. They did this, but that's fine. It's going to take quite a lot to do all this. Oh, here's our water geyser. So if we just... We're going to do a ladder there, or staircase. Hi, paintbrush. What you doing? If we come in here, what is in here? Oh, that's obsidian. It looked like there was neutronium, that's the word. So if we go down in there, We can get water or oil. And come down here and get a petroleum boiler started. So that we can pump that oil directly into it. And then we can open up this oil vent here and get some of the power from it. Alright, things are looking good. Now this is waiting for steel. For some reason I made that out of steel. We're gonna cancel that. That should be cobalt, not steel. Alright, and up here is pretty much ready for us to just dig it all out. That is what I'm going to queue up right now. They'll get to it when they can. Alright, I think we should do an early prediction. So let's see. Is the pod going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You have 10 minutes to decide. I should probably also congratulate Gino on reaching a 10 stream streak. I saw the announcement earlier, but I didn't think to say anything until just now. And there's a Lunatone if anyone wants a moon-looking Pokemon. Now, what was that getting rid of if it was igneous rock? I have no idea. They're getting closer to finishing this, but it just seems like they're going super slow. But on the other hand, I don't have to worry about it because this ethanol is at 473 kilograms. I think we're fine. If I were to just let the lava fall into this water area, would we be able to flash enough water into steam that it wouldn't condense after some time? I mean, this would also help us by continuously off-gassing steam into the air. But at the same time, is there a point... It's 500. That's gonna have to get cooled down somehow. Do we... What my question is do we need temperature shift plates? I think this is a question for the turtle. El Turtle Hermit. We can't see this geyser yet. And that should be another volcano if I'm correct on that. I'm not sure how to go about this, chat. I think we might just open this up. Oh, it's dormant right now. You can get in there and grab water from it. I think I will just open it up and let it fill up this area down here. So it should fill this and then go all the way over. And just start putting stuff in here. Now, something we do need to think about is how we're going to get all these liquids out of here. I am not too sure. Is this dormant? No, it's just idle. So, I mean, this is dormant. I have a bit of issue with power. No thank you to all of that. They did get most of this dug out. Who is... Oh, you guys are trapped. You guys can dig. So why are you trapped? I don't know how to... Oh, this was sand. Alright. We are going to deconstruct all of these. Now I need to make sure that these are on buildings only, so I don't deconstruct pipes. Let's also put this in gas. I'm gonna leave this ladder here just so that they have an extra way to get up here, although I think they're gonna do it from here. So we don't really need that vertical ladder there. Do we have any spare igneous rock? We do. Awesome. And they are digging from over here. And I need to find a spot with a lot of coal. I don't think there's any coal up here. There's a bunch of different rocks, but that's pretty much it. Is there any big packets of coal on the left side here? There's some coal right here. I don't think we can reach all of it, but I will queue it up slowly. No, I'm just gonna queue up everything they can get. So that the moment they're able to reach it, they'll dig it out. I don't see any coal. I know there's coal right below me. I purposely went upwards to avoid it. I don't think there's any coal on the right side that we can see right now. There may be some hidden, like right here in this. There's a little bit of coal right here. We also have one of the few remaining cobalt ore deposits. Okay, now it actually is just the coal that's in here. A little bit right there, some here. What's the smartest way to get down here? Probably taking ladders. I think we need to start working on digging out all of this so that all the liquids go down to the bottom of the base. We're doing a pretty decent job of getting this area done. We should probably do something about the liquids over here. Because I don't want ethanol flashing into ethanol gas, and I don't want the oil flashing into sour gas. And who are you guys fighting? Oh. All these critters are queued up to be killed. Have we made one of these yet? I don't think we have. We have. I don't know where it was hiding, but we made it. And everything's on 20 kilograms, it seems. Right, we'll leave it like that. How close are they to being done the ethanol run? Pretty darn close. We also have all these bridges. If I go like that, that should release the water again. We can go like that. Over here is already completed. It just needs a couple bridges. I don't know why I mixed these bridges. Welcome in, Piku! Have fun lurking. So that shouldn't take too long. I think we should work our way down into this biome so we can get everything out of it. We're gonna spend a little bit of igneous rock that we have to get down here. We'll go down as far as I can, and then we'll worry about the horizontal runs later. I'm trying to get as far down as I can so I can work my way upwards instead. On the other hand, we could dig it out without ladders. We'd have to go 4 tiles at a time. So that'll be get rid of all of that. And start here. And just dig that all out. We'll get a lot of coal. We'll get a little bit of igneous rock because I think there's sun mixed in. I can't really tell now that everything has a dig command on it. I know there's igneous rock here, obviously, because we can see it. But I think there's some mixed in here somewhere. And I should probably mop up that ethanol so that it doesn't flash if this extends far enough. They're almost done the power lines here. They only have 5 more to go. They're also relatively close to being done all of this. I should probably put the automation in for this now. Automation here, you go like this. And like this, and I feel like I put an extra check on this that I'm forgetting. I did put secondary checks. Okay, so we're gonna have to cancel all of that and this. I have a check here and here on both of them. And then there's also liquid shutoff. And my liquid's getting in the way. How do I have this? If I go off of the squiggly line, I have this facing to the left. So I'm guessing stuff goes upwards? No, it doesn't look like it goes upwards. We might have to take a quick field trip over to my other colony to see how in the world I set this up. So I'm gonna save right here. When we come back, we're gonna do a prediction. It looks like we have 30 points in tops, and that's it. Let's take a look at Stone to Space setup. There shouldn't be too many spoilers left. So I'm not worried about showing off anything. If anything, I think I zoomed into the water area. If it ever loads. I'm also going to need to open another folder so that I can move the screenshot when it's ready. It's actually zoomed in zooming base. So we already know everything up here. This is the Puff Ranch we're going to be doing at some point. That's another thing we should probably get done before we get our next thing ready. Now, I need to know all of this. Didn't I take a picture of that? Hold on a second. I did take a picture of this already. We didn't have to do that at all. So we're going to have to move around things because I actually have the aqua tuners set up backwards. We have to flip the aqua tuners. And I have a cut on my arm from one of the kittens. I'm going to have to check. It looks like there's a piece of dirt on it, and that can't be right. No, it's not dirt. Alright, so if we go over here, we're going to first put this back on buildings. This on gas, and in here, I put the aqua tuners the correct way, but I put the pipes the wrong way. We do have to work out a little bit more here. Hold on a second, this is cooling down water. That's for water, this is ethanol, and then up here is for petroleum. Why do I have this cooling down water? And then immediately leaving. Oh, it's for the sleet wheat. I was making sure the water was cooled down enough before it even goes into the sleet wheat. That makes sense because I was wondering how I'm going to keep this from overheating the area. Because while it's sitting in here, it does continue transferring temperature through the tile. Which is why these are probably too hot all of a sudden. And there's a bunch of water in here, so I'm actually going to cancel that and cancel this. Oh, we don't have igneous rock, that's why I did that. I'm gonna have to do some plumbing of all of that. And we're also gonna have to do a sweep of this so that we can cool this back down. Is all the water flowing that direction? You are doing the gas, aren't you? Why is it doing all of it instead of just the water? Now I'm gonna have to put a thing that puts gases back in. Canister drainer. Right there. Get them to sweep this up again. Okay, none of that should be queued up. Is it just filling with water every time they empty it? It is. Cancel that then. And this is already done. Okay. We have a little bit of setup here to do, and I think I just need them to finish what they're currently building so that we can get this ready. They did finish draining this out. I'm going to come in here and deconstruct everything. Deconstruct that bridge as well, and for right now I'm just going to go like this and let it go back and forth until that bridge is emptied. So I should be sending the water up here like I am, and then pulling it in and then sending it back out. But we have a bunch of spaghetti in the way. Alright, first step. Break all that off so that this can at least drain out at some point. Why is this connected right here? I don't think that was supposed to be connected. Oh. No, that's correct. Should be splitting both ways. Alright, so at some point that'll get taken down enough. This area should be getting cooled down again. Unbreathable hydrogen gas 7. Everything in here says negative numbers. No, it doesn't. Carbon dioxide's at 2. Right, what are they working on? Probably the ladders, that makes sense. Let's just deconstruct the next lane of ladders. And I'm going to queue these two back up again. Right, and I'm going to cancel all of this. We spent a lot of time setting that up, but at the same time, I don't think we actually need it right now. I have another regular pod, and... Ooh, Brian. Let's do our first prediction of the day. It's almost 1 hour in. So again, we have 30 points in tops. So hopefully it's tops. Ooh, it's wallpaper. We've been getting a lot of wallpaper randomly. Wait. Needs to go up a little tiny bit. There we go. Alright, oh, here's some lava. So as we can see, once I can move, it only goes how far? This says 8. I think it just didn't produce enough. Now this should be heating up, and at some point it will melt. This one, I don't know if it'll heat up enough for it to melt, because this should be cooling down just as much as this is heating up. Actually, this is heating up faster, so we might lose a few ladders, but that's fine. Alright, we should have power in here, which means that... this is almost ready. We also didn't put automation on this. So before I start doing all the fixing of up ahead, should probably put this in. Would it be very difficult to move this over by one tile so I don't have to move this ladder again? I might just move it over enough for us to not need this single thing there. So if this is a transformer, we would have that automation here. You would have to be here. Then that means something like that. It also means bringing this over, deconstructing that. Cancel this, and deconstruct this. Now, why isn't this running yet? I think I need to put that on a 7. Just so that we can get this done already. But we're about to have our volcano go off. So these two line up well enough that they're going off at the same time. Alright. Deconstruct that. So that I can put another one right here. We're going to deconstruct this as well. And then we just connect this in like that. Separate that. Now this is going to have a portion of no liquid. I'm not going to add more in here just to fill in the spots of these new pipes. If anything, we'll do it later if it becomes too annoying to me. But now we can get rid of that one wire, that tile. And we can get that transformer made out of steel this time. Should probably also take a look at other transformers out in the open. Like right here should probably be changed, not blueprint, into steel. Anything else on the left side that needs to be turned into steel? I don't think there is. I doubt there's anything up top. You are already made out of steel, so that's fine. These are going to be there at some point. This. Steel. Down here is connected directly into power. No transformer. That is something we could think about doing. I could just tie everything in here into our main power. Actually, I can't because of this, so we're going to leave it that way. You were put at the wrong spot. And I'm gonna wait to do this until after they put everything else back. This is almost done. We're at 40 grams pretty much. So if I were... Oh, this is dormant now. This is probably the best time to come in here and do all this. If I open that up, we can get in here. I'm gonna sweep up the stuff that I didn't sweep up earlier. Can I get that eggshell? That's not gonna be picked up. Cancel sweeping, relocate to right here. You can be deconstructed, we don't need more water. They don't have to do it right away, but when they get to it, deconstruct that. Sweep that up, make sure to sweep this. Grab that eggshell again. It doesn't say it's being swept, good. Up here, mostly emptied out. Just pick up everything again, and then we'll do this, and then we'll come down here into the dirty brick and sweep all that stuff out. I'm just trying to get some spots cleaned up. Alright, that should mean that this will at some point can get power. Anything above 25. Would like that to turn on. This is flowing properly now. Oh, wait a minute. We don't want that. Alright, so how much is missing in here? It looks like 4 pipes. And this is down to micrograms, so this is almost a vacuum already. So you don't need to do this anymore, that can be deconstructed. Because there's no way we're going to run out of this battery before all this is vacuumed out. Let's analyze this while we're at it. And there it goes. It's now a complete vacuum. So let's deconstruct everything. Power, vents, and buildings. Now this is being swept and picked up. So that might be confusing. I'm going to cancel sweep orders. That gets rid of relocating. I did not know it would do that. I thought that would have been something else. I don't know what it would have been. Maybe supplying? I wasn't expecting that. Alright, our nosh beans are back to working, so that should mean that this is getting emptied out. We're almost out of polluted water up there. That's somewhat fine. I'm mostly concerned with getting this emptied. If I connect it in temporarily to here, that should help drain out this pipe at least. Why is there something on yellow alert? I didn't do that, did I? Insulated liquid pipe. Oh, we must have put this on emergency before. We'll put it to a 9. And that's probably not working because we didn't have power to get it. Oh no, that broke because of the water being too cold. Never mind. Anyway, we need to deconstruct all the bridges. And these. And I'm going to deconstruct this as well, because we're going to have to find a different way to get in here. That'll also tell us just how much salt water is up here. Which, hoping... Ooh. We're going to bring it back down. Probably going to break a pipe somewhere. But we'll be fine. Alright, with all of that deconstructed, we're going to look at our picture here, and I'm going to set up the ethanol first. So, deconstruct you, and you. Get rid of this bridge, get rid of this bridge. And other stuff over here is going to get worked on later on. Why is there water missing from this line? That's weird. I'm going to ignore that for now. Oh, this went up to another level. I'm going to need to go like this. Make sure it doesn't continue. We do have a bunch of igneous rock over here, though. So I'm going to tell them to queue up all of these ladders so that I can still use that to run over. And then We have all of that. We should probably start doing all this stuff. So that's all of the igneous rock. Just one ladder run. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So we're waiting for this to cool down enough. This area definitely is getting hot enough to melt everything. We should probably switch these over. Oh, this is gonna have to be steel as well. Unless we move it inside the base, but we don't really have a big spot for that. What happens to all the gas that's inside? I hope it doesn't just go all over the place. Wait, how long until they come over here and do this? Did I set this up to be switched? No, I did. Alright, they finished this, so let's sweep this up so that we can build in the last two things here. We're gonna have to sweep this a little bit. Oh, it did release all the gas. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna reload the cycle. Welcome in, Glow. I don't know if you can hear me because I believe you're in ads. So I'll wait until they'll come back. Okay, right here. Deconstruct on buildings. Gas. What did we queue up to get done? This amount of time. You should have power line. You do. You just don't have power. We have those ladders queued up. We have that being built. Okay. So pretty much at this point, I am going to... I need to put this somewhere. I'm going to put it here. Temporary double bridge system here. We're going to come out and in. And then up over here. Welcome back from the ads. And welcome in Glow. Let's cancel all of that. This is a temporary pipe. Okay. Once they do this, that should allow us to drain this out. I'm going to deconstruct this. We'll have to build that back in. And also the pipe underneath. Since they have this bridge ready, we can go like that, and I can go like this. just so we don't lose all of that natural gas to the atmosphere. And I'm going to need a single pipe here, because we're going to have to tie it back in after we switch this to steel. Okay, regular pod. We don't need any of it. They're still doing stuff up here, so I'm not too pressured. Let's look at the water here. I do have the saltwater pipe in the right spot. My paintbrush. Are you just staring at me? Did I wake you up? So, I have not enough igneous rock to do this. Now I do. Going off of our picture, I have our inlet right there. Then it bridges across. That's not there. This is going to make sense as they clean it up, but for right now it's not going to make sense. This would be... How cold do I want this? How cold can ethanol get before it turns into something else? -114, so this can go down to 0. If it's above 0, that's what we want opportunity to turn on. So it'd be keyed in like that. I need to put in the liquid shutoffs, now that the bridges on the left side are not in the way. Like that, and like that. How in the world do I have a bridge end that right there? I don't know, but we need a bridge right here. I'm surprised that they can be in the same tile. And then this goes straight into here, comes out, goes to here, and then gets bridged over. But why? Because the directional point, we wanted to not come from here and go down and into the liquid shutoff. Okay. Get rid of that one pipe right here. That's this whole thing set up, except for that this needs to come out and supply the ethanol upwards. No, this would go downwards. So this would key into here. And then it goes in, comes out, goes the same way that we had it set up. Over here is the water. It's going to be the same setup in a way. So we're going to need to move this salt water. And I am thinking of moving the ethanol out of this area so that I can clean up these pipes a little bit. Overheat damage. Oh, these are being made out of cobalt. I should have checked to make sure that they weren't made out of cobalt. Anyway, if they deconstruct these, we can move the pipes around a little bit easier. Okay. I want all this over here. And then I want to move this whole thing to here. It's going to take some time, but this should make things look a little bit cleaner once we get it all fixed up and put all the bridges in. We are going to have extra water in it. So I'm going to figure out how to get rid of that water. There is a block of ice right here. And it looks like they put all the hydrogen in there. And they did, going off of that. So, well, I don't remember if I asked. But to answer your question, I'm doing well. How are you? I did get distracted by the fact that we had an ad break and all this stuff going on. We still haven't been able to connect over yet. That's the outlet coming out. So we're going to figure out how to connect this into here. We still need to build the water pipe. So we need all this done first. How much longer is this going to stay hot for? Oh, it's not cooling down at all. Okay. We apparently did not do that up to be swept. So I think I need to redirect this lava. So I need 2 tiles. Let's do a 3rd tile just to be sure. Be careful. Once they sweep that up, oh, that's another thing we didn't do. I didn't cue this to be swept. There's a lot of debris there, so it's going to take them a while. Did they just run through the lava? They are. Here, let me readjust the chair. I have a feeling that somebody came down here for this. They did not. They went into the liquid. But they took it. They didn't take everything. They took the little bit of cobalt that was sitting there. Alright, I think it is time for a second prediction. So, what is in the pod? Is it going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You have 10 minutes starting now. Meantime, I'm going to have a little bit of candy. And I need to find a way to get igneous rock. We were doing the dig over here. I forgot this is going to uncover a lot of igneous rock. Which will give us just a little bit of a boost that we need. We could also get into this volcano and start having it flash this salt water. Let's do that when we can. Actually, let's do a temporary ladder right there. That'll get changed eventually. Welcome in, Redneck. Thank you for the congratulations or happy anniversary thing. Does happy birthday count as a congratulation? That's pretty much the same thing we're doing here. We will be celebrating our affiliate anniversary next Wednesday on the 26th. If you want to come in and say hi again, we'll be streaming for 24 hours. It'll be the first 24-hour stream we've ever done. We've done a 12-hour stream, but not 24. Oh, I just realized we're really close to being able to get power from this. That would be a good way to flash all of this liquid. Alright, not feeling too good, Glow. I'm sorry to hear that. What are the kittens up to? I hear one's playing. Oh, I see one laying on the cat tree. Oh, I should probably point out that in the camera, the cat tree is not there anymore. Because I had moved it to the window that's at the top of the camera. Oh, hi! Paintbrush is in the little cat tree that you guys can see. The one that had the hammock. And then there's one on the cat tree that I said I moved. So that should get us a lot of igneous rock that I can go like this. Let's make it come all the way over here. What is that noise? Oh, thank you for following. When all the noises sound the same, I don't know what they're for. So thank you for the follow. How are the kittens? The kittens are doing great. They are causing trouble as always. They actually just cut my arm earlier. I don't know. Oh, you guys actually can see. That is actually a deep cut. I don't think it shows up on screen. But when I came in from work, I went to go and make a new thing of water because I ran out. And when I was coming into the room, I opened the door and there was two kittens waiting at the bottom of the step. And I was trying to scare them to go up the stairs, so I used my shoes squeaking noise to scare them up, and when I did that, the one that I was holding used their claws to jump off my arm and did a pretty deep cut. I don't have any band-aids large enough for that in the house. So I just put a little bit of Neosporin on top of it. Why are they not taking this out? Do I have to make it a relocate? Please don't close this. Thank you. Put it on a 7. Hopefully they'll be able to move that now. I want this wall built before I open this, so that if it does flash this before they deconstruct it, it won't put steam in that room. Steam in that room will not help us. What else are they finishing up? They're still doing this. This whole thing takes a long time for some reason. They did more stuff in here. They actually completed all of the ethanol stuff. Do we need that? If I put this here, now I can see that and see chat. It's a good thing about having kids, got all Band-Aid size. I had Band-Aids, but I think I ran out and they must be either on the school bus or in my truck. I was trying to do Pokemon Band-Aids, because obviously they're my favorite thing here, but they haven't been being sold anywhere lately, so I do actually think I have... Did I get Paw Patrol Band-Aids? I'm not sure. It was either Paw Patrol or just dinosaurs. Because it's got to be for, you know, kids kindergarten through 5th grade. And I don't think 5th graders are going to want to have Paw Patrol Band-Aids. I hope you feel better, Glow. Sleep well. Alright, let's put in the stuff over here. So this is going to go up, in, down. But not right now, because that's going to start the salt water going into this. Then it comes down 2, bridges over, up, over, and then up again. Deconstruct that. Right here is going to be a water pipe. We can deconstruct this. So now I just need all the bridges. So 1, 2, and 3. This actually, let's go up 1 more. This shouldn't affect this at all, as far as I can tell. We do have this ready. Let's cut that off, cut this off. We should see that after this catches up, we have too much water in this thing. And if we wait long enough, I might see that how much we need to take out of this. I'm gonna guess a good solid 3 tiles need to be taken out of here. If I do that, that'll help us. We can deconstruct all of this. All of this. We're then gonna have to put in our bridges for all of our food related stuff. So what I'm going to do is how I usually do pipes, which is going to initially look like a mess, but also makes sense. Paw Patrol is kindergarten, and then next age bracket, 16 to 22-year-old. SpongeBob, that I should probably look. That's some nice spaghetti you got there, making me hungry. Why, thank you. We're trying to make this function. Oh, you're cooling stuff down. How in the world did you even get in? This isn't connected. How did you... Aquatuner. You shouldn't be turned on. How did you even... Why? Get you over there. So if I go like this, that should empty this out. Don't keep turning that on. Alright, bring you back into there. That should never fill up again. It must have went down somehow? I don't know how it got over here. I don't know, but we're gonna have to worry about that later. What I'm gonna do is my normal bridge setup when I have 2 pipes being bridged over 2 pipes. So this ethanol line is gonna have to get moved over somewhere else in the future. I'm going to connect this back in so it can continue its loop and also tell me if I need to take more out. If anything, we may have taken out too much water. I think I might have only needed to take out 1 pipe. That's okay. Our bridges are going to make it fine. So I usually start with it going upwards and then figure out where the other pipes need to be. So we can put a bridge here and a bridge here. Once they do these 2, I'm going to put the vertical bridge going upwards again, because these are both going up. I just want to bridge off of this first and off of that. So that should be empty, this should be empty. Bring this up, that goes straight up, this goes up. And now we have another issue over here, where we have to do something similar. So if I do this, easy way would be just doing 1 extra pipe right there, or bridge. Then we can move this over. Bridge it from right here to this spot, and then it can go up into here. Now, we get to this point where I need at least 3 tiles, which would be those 3. But I also need salt water to get in here, not at this level. It needs to go up 1 level. Oh, these can be deconstructed. Disconnect you. And now we're at the point where there's too much water in here, like I knew there would be. We'll stop that, stop this. We'll plumb out those 2 packets. That should be all I need to take out if I did my math right. So bridge over there, bring that up. That's done. What we can do is go like this. I have to figure out how all of these are going to be put in here along with the salt water. So this is what we're trying to work out. This is going to be polluted water, which can be hot. So if we do it right, we could have it just come right over top of this. That makes sense. This is clean, cooled down water leaving this area. Like I said, that's going to be polluted water. We don't need this pipe right now. This pipe is actually going to be deconstructed mostly and moved to connect into here, which we'll have to move around some spaghetti to fix up a little bit. So salt water is here. I would need the bridge over it. Let's see if I have enough igneous rock to at least build that in. Looks like I do. So if I do that and then deconstruct all of this. We can then deconnect, disconnect, put this back together. Or are you broken? Did this get switched? It didn't get switched to steel. Am I not hitting? I didn't hit start there. Okay, that's why that's still broken. At least still working on. Don't know. They should be able to get these set up before the saltwater geysers come back on, because I think they're both dormant right now. Either they're both dormant or one of them is idle. Connect this back in and see the final amount of water that we have in it. Is it still backing up? It is still backing up. Let's take out another 2 packets. Is this on? No, it's not on. Okay. Okay, we can't bridge over top of this because we have the bridge right there. So we're gonna have to bring it over 1. Just to get over the outlet of water which goes into here. And they already plumbed the pipe, so when I can, I'm gonna connect this back in. See how this does. Looks like that's a perfect amount for right now, so we're gonna leave it with that. Do I keep that there? Do I move it? That seems very easy to go with, so I'm going to leave that there. Let's just connect this all the way up so we can get our pinch of pepper nuts back up and running. Connect this back in. This is our first test. You know, before it even gets up there, I'm going to make sure that nothing is connected to this. Nothing there, nothing here, nothing there, nothing here. Should be good. Doesn't look like it's getting stuck anywhere, so it is going to go all the way up here and start feeding these guys. First it gets heated up, or in this case, cooled down. No, it is getting heated up. It's getting up almost to 70 degrees. And then this should back up pretty quickly. There you go, it's already backing up. So that's one thing. We also need water weeds up there. So this is salt water coming in. We can just bridge right across here. This is water coming out. Let's connect that in now. Oh, this is an easy connect in. Look at that. 2 bridges and it's done. So that should mean that I don't need this anymore. So let's just disconnect that. It'll drain out. And if I disconnect here, it'll drain out even faster. If I put a bridge there, we're going to flip this around. Cancel that, actually. What I want to do is get rid of this and just connect it in. And it looks like sometimes it is backing up. So I'm hoping when I connect in here, having that one less bridge makes it not back up anymore. We did just add in 1 extra packet of water, and that means this can't escape, so we actually did need that bridge. Alright, double that eventually. Continue on with salt water. Water coming out, so we're gonna have to do this double bridge thing here. This ladder. And you know, instead of going back and forth like that, why don't I just go straight up and in? Then do the same thing here. The same thing with all of this. That brings us to another 2 pipes being connected at the same time. We do need... find out how water's getting into here. Now, did that just empty out this entire bit? No, but it got close. Now I can queue that all up to be deconstructed. I don't think they can reach it. Trying to figure out how stuff is getting in here before we figure out how it's leaving. I think what I want to do is just connect in all the pipes going up so that we can get our food back running. If I deconstruct all of this, this is clean water. which we can do this system down here. We can also bring in the ethanol this way as well. If I start here, the bridge over, up again, and in. That actually is how the ethanol... No, that's not going to be how the ethanol goes in. Disconnect that. Now I need to make sure that all of this is disconnected correctly. So off, 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 and off. Off that, off this. Okay, that brings in water. Now in here I want this to be not able to flash the water, and I think this changes state liquids by 16? Might be 14, I can't remember. If I look at one that's running. This is going in at 25.1, coming out at 11. So that's 14. So I want this to not turn on if it is below... We'll go with 16. The same thing with this. If it is... This one's going to be below 16. This is above 16. Because this is turning on the aqua tuner. This is going to turn on the liquid shutoff. This needs water. Over there, this is the ethanol pipe, so that's going to be removed and moved. This all the way over here. I think our lava cooled down. It did. All of a sudden I have 34,000 or 34 tons is what I was trying to say. Cue that up so they build it in. Why does this seem to not be getting power? We didn't finish connecting it in. That would make sense. Because I think we ran out of cobalt. Then you connect you up this way. Hopefully I have enough. I do have enough, look at that. Let's do another set of tiles here. To get more coal and igneous rock, we're going to need at least one ladder. Right there. I'll let them do that over time. They definitely can't get up into here. So let's put ladder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one right there. That'll allow them to deconstruct everything. How did they do on sweeping this up? They got almost everything. There's going to always be some amount of dirt on this line because they're coming across here to feed dirt into our food production. Right, regular pod. We'll grab some extra ice. And I'm gonna tell them to sweep everything in here. What do you mean there's no spot for ice? No, that's no spot for brine. Relocate you to here so that you're not always in that spot. The ice should be coming down here, which it is. Okay, so hopefully when this is connected in by power, it's already running. So that should be cooling this down over time. We can now deconstruct all of this. And deconstruct this for next time, and then switch it to here. Also deconstruct all of this. And this will go off in 1.8 cycles, which should be long enough for us to build this in. Let's put our ladders back as well. I'm actually going to make sure that they build these first, over top of anything else they want to do. This is already overheating. I didn't think of that before I turned it on. But we are going to need to do something about that. I'm going to have to put it in a steam room and then deconstruct it later on. Alright. Have to go like that. I'm going to have to put in some amount of liquid in here. Did I just say we ran out of igneous rock? How in the world did we already run out of igneous rock? We didn't. They just must be moving it around. Wait, but okay. We have salt water ready to be connected in. I think we do. This can be deconstructed. This can go straight up. They're almost done building this in, which means that it's going to loop around and then go in. There is a muck in chat. That's Gen 1. Let me see if I have that. Apparently I do. Alright, now we should see that this is only filling it up until it's cooled down. Now for some reason it's not connected in correctly, so let's do that. Disconnect this. There we go, now it's using the aqua tuner at least. Once it lets one packet of water out, this should move constantly. There we go. And it adds a little bit more water, brings it over, and this is going to back up because we already had this primed. So now we do have the ability, no, we don't have the ability of putting that in yet. We should wait until there's a plant in there pulling it out. Alright, that system's ready. We have this set up for ethanol going into the base, or into the cooling system. Let's turn that on. And then I still need to find a way to get it up and to bring the ethanol over. I think we will just do bridge here and bridge there. Disconnect those and just connect it in like this. I'm going to save the little bit of igneous rock I have instead of connecting this in right now. And I think we will also filter it through to make sure that it's cooled down in here. I like this. That's 0. This should be anything below 0. So if it's above 0, turn this on. If it's below 0, turn this on. We have more igneous rock coming as soon as that's cooled down. This is going to get moved. No, that's not what I want. You need to go up to here. And this power needs to come, I guess, like this. You also need to come over further because this steam turbine needs to have power connected to it. This is going to be made out of steel again, just to make sure that it doesn't overheat before we get this area ready. And I need to supply this with water and also figure out how we're getting this to stay cooled. I'm gonna have to take off of this. We're gonna lose water for a moment here. I need to bring this all the way back down like it was. Cue it into there. What are they prioritizing building? They did everything up here, so that's all done. Dig all of that. Mop all that ethanol up. You're dormant. You're dormant. We should have a lot of polluted water backed up in here, so even if that third geyser goes down, we should have enough polluted water. Let's disable auto repair on that, because that's actually going to get deconstructed. Actually, if I do that now, it won't stop the thing from working. Let's do it anyway. Right, and prioritize. I didn't mean to click on 7. Why does it close the priority screen? I prioritize all that stuff so that we can get in here. And I need to leave this open so that gases can get out of here as the water comes in. I'm gonna have to high prioritize that because they're not bringing in water anymore. And all of a sudden we have 10 tons of igneous rock. I don't know where this igneous rock is coming from randomly. That we don't have a lot and then we all of a sudden do. We need a ladder over excuse me, over here. They built all of that. I need to sweep up all of this. They were able to get in here. I don't know why it seems like the igneous rock fell down here and then they couldn't. That's dangerous rock normally from frozen magma and super toasty. It is, but we're not putting it in a place that we're not okay with it getting overheated. Our plan for this colony, or for this asteroid, is to, at some point, turn it into one massive sauna. If you followed El Toro Hermit, he did this about 6 months ago. Oh, here's all those... This is how we're getting magma, or igneous rock. It's actually overflowing. It's turning into ethanol gas. And sour gas. I forgot to filter this liquid out. Alright, we're gonna have to worry about that later. I'll use a pump and somehow cool this all down. Not too much of a big deal right now. This, I'm gonna... Oh, it's almost done. Enable auto repair then. We'll spend some extra steel. I didn't realize that this was already close to being cooled down. Alright, how is the liquid pipe doing? Since there's not much left for them to build, or since there's nothing left for them to build over here, they're doing the pipes now. I want to make sure that this is built in first. Let's deconstruct this so that I can get down here and fix that at any point. In terms of how messy this area got, it didn't do too bad. There is obviously a lot of ethanol gas here, but that's not too much for us to worry about. Unless, of course, it's getting deleted by the salt water in here. I think what I want to do is make a liquid reservoir right here for all this magma to fall into. If I can do this, let's make it out of sedimentary rock. You know what, let's make it out of insulated as well. Insulated, sedimentary, all the way over to there, and all the way up. I'm gonna need a ladder in here, just so that nobody gets stuck. And pretty soon this should be giving us some more stuff. Now I am going to prioritize this pipe first, over top of that. And then this is gonna have to, I guess, filter out what we don't want in that guy, that room up top. Why does this look like two different colors? It's not, but that's definitely, maybe it's because the shades mix when they're next to each other, I don't know. Right, this has no power, so that's not even gonna run, but it's fixed now. So let's put that back in. How close are they to finishing this? Do I want on the ladder right here? So I don't have to go all the way over and come back. I think I do want a ladder there. Actually, no, this is going to be a room to destroy some of the carbon dioxide that's in here. Since we have so much igneous rock, I am going to queue up this to be built. And we will connect this together so that we can cool down the ethanol that's in here. And then I'm going to need first to deconstruct all of this. We need that pipe. We don't need this. We don't need this. We do need this. So to get over to salt water, we go from here, then we have to get over the water. We have to get over the water again, and also the ethanol. Easiest thing would be to bridge over the water. And this, we're just bringing it over and then up. So that means we don't need this, like I thought I did. We're not going to put the bridge on until we are ready to actually use this. And it's going to take a few cycles around here for it to cool down enough. While I have a ton of it, let's connect all the way over. And can I, or should I, queue up all this? I think I probably should. No, I shouldn't. That takes a lot. Oh, we also can't get in there. Another ladder run. Why does this have polluted water? What? No, thank you. No polluted water. Alright, water can be emptied. Igneous rock needs to be swept. Polluted water needs to be swept. Now this is going to fill up with magma if we're not fast enough. Do that. This is going to be a temporary pipe, so I'm just going to go... like this. Drop that right there. And then over here I'm going to do 2 batteries to keep this running non-stop. That's not where I want you. Generator. Battery. Do we have a prediction going that I should probably be doing? Probably. I do have a prediction, so let's do the prediction. I think this is our second one. So right after we do it, we're gonna immediately start the next one. There is a ponytail in chat, that's Gen 1. I apparently have it. So, we have 10 points in tops, 30 points in buildings, and a whole 1 point in wallpaper. I hope it's neither of the two that no one put points in. It is a building. So congratulations to who I'm going to expect is Gino, because Gino likes putting 30 points in. You just won an extra 11 points. And, like I said, immediately start the next one. So is the next pod going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You have 10 minutes starting it now. And we will look at that right before we raid out. Alright, they're getting closer. And we just need enough steam, or enough water to block this off. I'm gonna have another piece of candy. Just checking for kittens. The 2 that I saw before are still in the same spots they were in. The 3rd one, I have no idea where they are, so they're probably underneath the bed with their mother. Somehow there's a little bit of water there. This is almost a full tile. Gino, I believe you won. It was buildings last. So we had wallpaper, and then we had a flower pot. And I'm pretty sure it was you who won, because it was 30 points. Woohoo, about time. There we go. Now can somebody come over here and run on this so we can get water into here for next time this goes off in 10 cycles. Alright, we're also working on this, that's fine. Kind of expected this being done a little bit earlier. I wonder how quickly this is all going to cool down, because there is a lot in here. Wow. And how did ethanol get out here? We now have polluted water being pumped up there. So after some time that should help keep this cool down when it overflows. It will at some point turn into steam, that's fine. We also have this water geyser trying to produce water. I think we might have to dig out another layer because there's polluted water in the way. And then there's polluted water and salt water here, so I'll probably need 3 tiles high. And we'll do 3 tiles high here. They are digging out stuff over here, so that's giving us igneous rock and coal, stuff like that. Oh, this is a full tile now. I can cut that off again. Get you back in. Deconstruct all of this and all of that. I'm gonna have to not deconstruct that bridge. Or not connect in this bridge, I mean. And then we can get all this stuff back. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. And I am going to do the tile delete method. Building a tile there just to get rid of the gas that's in there. This all the way over. Build a tile right there. This should be enough water to make this not flash later. There is going to be an overabundance of steam in here, more than we ever need. How long is this more diamond for? Another 20 cycles before we get more food going. So we're not worried about the debris going in there because we need to build this tile and deconstruct it before we can do anything with it. How did they do over here? They have this ready. So that'll go back to fixing our toilets, because I'm pretty sure they're going to start complaining about not having toilets. I'm just waiting to make sure that it gets up there before we get the alarms. There we go, it's like it never even happened. And now it's going up to our oxygen production. Alright, what else is going on? How are they doing over here? 6 degrees already? This entire pipeline here was able to drain out most of that liquid and cool this down to 5 degrees. I am very surprised that it was able to do it that quickly. And this is going all the way to 0 degrees. Wait a second, something's not working right. If it is above 0 degrees, turn that on. If it is below, turn this on. Oh, it is working correctly. No, it's not. Yes, it is. But over here, it wasn't. Okay. I see what's going on. And this loop also helps if we don't have power. It just keeps looping the same fluids. Okay, so in here is now below 0. And it's connected in right there. There we go. So we should see that the aqua tuner stops running. And then this can now go up. Whoop, not like that. Cancel you. Oh, I don't want to pull the bridge, I wanted this. And disconnect this. Once they build that in, it should go up, and we have our food back up and running. Alright, let's work out how things are going to be over here. This needs to be deconstructed so we can sweep it out. Over here, we're going straight across. Make that insulated. We need a bridge. Because again, this is temporary, so that's not being prioritized. Then we have that. Get everything out of there. Oh, I found the third cat. Or third kit. They're at my feet. Looks like the prediction is ended, and it seems like only one person was able to get into it before it ended. We will be doing that at the end of the stream in about 20 minutes. You should be doing non-stop. What's going on here? Oh, the bridge. They put in the bridge that fast. Alright, how close can I get with this amount of igneous rock? We can get all the way in. We'll have our ethanol. Awesome. Alright, they got all of that out, so I need to build those 2 tiles. I am going to tell them to sweep this up, just so it doesn't fall in. But then I also need all of this on a 6. No, not that. Ran it. 7. That'll give us our power into the aqua tuner, which will get this ready, and then this is 100% set up and prepared for the next thing. Okay, so this is 2 things completed for everything that I have set aside and prepared ideas for. Gonna miss the end. Need to fix my IRL starvation alert. Have fun. I hope to see you again soon. We'll take dirt. Can always use dirt. So that ethanol is going to power our nosh beans. Sulfur, once that is not dormant, that can automatically start working. This water doesn't have to be cooled down enough right away for it to start working. Actually, well, we have the power in now. This is set up for everything, and this should cool down relatively soon. We have the cooling system over here prepared. We don't have the petroleum part set up anymore, though. Why is that one pipe there? Oh, that's for bringing stuff in. So I do need to figure out how we're going to bring petroleum over here. And I think what I'm going to do is a little bit more pipe spaghetti. Which will make the ethanol honestly look a little bit better. So let's start the preparation for that now. Because that should be very easy to do. We'll disconnect this. It came over and disconnected that very quickly. Snip that off. What do I think they're going to prioritize? They're probably going to prioritize that over this. I want this done first. Because this is a quick line that gets us set up for everything else. I am going to deconstruct that. So that we can put back this pipe, or this bridge. Connect that back in. This is emptying relatively quickly. Disconnect that already. Bring this back in. Then this is ready to get connected up once this is emptied. I'm going to connect like that just in case they get this bridge ready. They might empty this pipe before they even get those last two pipes in. Why do we have so much ceramic? Seems odd. They came over and they dropped off the igneous rock for this and then left. And this pipe is now empty. Deconstruct all that. They're definitely going to have this whole thing emptied before they even construct everything. Okay, they do have this bridge back in. I need to know how we're doing this portion. I think what I'm going to do is have the petroleum come in up a tile. Or should I have a bridge over the bottles? Petroleum is going to be coming from the bottom, so I think I should bridge it over top of the bottles. I just deconstruct you for a moment there. Bring this all the way over. That means deconstruct bridge, and deconstruct bridge. And then we need to build bridges in there. That's already empty, that's already emptied. We're just waiting for that salt water to get emptied, which I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, so I'm going to just plumb that salt water out of there. This just needs a new bridge. Ethanol is not the priority. Deconstruct all of that, bring you back into it. And I am going to leave majority of this line here. But I do want to make sure that I don't accidentally connect it later on. So, right here, we have to do our little spaghetti thing for 2 pipes going over 2 pipes. Which I could do the exact same way. Just have to wait a moment. Deconstruct that. Need a bridge right here. Right there. Disconnect that. Connect this back in. Disconnect that. Somehow they made a mess. How? Or why? Because they don't have this being emptied out. That makes sense. Alright, so if it's going across there, we need a bridge here also. Connect you straight in. That's that whole area set up. Already 6 all of that. They need to get that done tomorrow, or yesterday, not tomorrow. Deconstruct this, because that needs to get moved down 1. I need a bridge right here, and then a bridge over all of these bottles to that point. At this point, I don't know where it's going to go up, but it's going to go up before this line goes down, because the aqua tuner is going to be right here. That's going to be down 1. Which we can actually place in now. We'll just do some pipe stuff to get it connected in. Is that 1 packet going to get emptied quickly? Yes, it is. Alright, that's all connected, and we just need to get this so we can have our water being emptied out again. Stop prioritizing the stuff that's on a 5, do the stuff on a 6. There's only 4 pipes. Who is this? Thank you, Willow, for doing 1 pipe and then walking away. Why? There's polluted... Did they do the pipes? They didn't do the pipes. I'm guessing that's still too much liquid. Yep. Do the 2 pipes. Thank you. Our bathrooms are working again. And I can start the mopping process of this entire base once the autosave is done. All of that. All of this. Check the bedrooms. There's a little bit in the bedroom. There is a little bit in the kitchen. There's a little bit in the ranch. Take some omelets. And then the rest we're gonna have to wait. Let's go into here and look at liquids to make sure that there's no polluted water that I missed, aside from down here. Looks like that is the only polluted water that's left. Right, how is the water over here doing? It is dripping out, awesome. This is still getting filled in. This is now, excuse me, completely cooled down. And we have ethanol. Ethanol is now being created. 5 kilograms at a time, and it's going up here. It should be getting cooled down first, then being spat out. Now it is going in at 65 degrees. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to cool down. It is filling in double packets though. Oh, triple packets. Or that's 7 packets of it going in. 8. So it gets to 4,000 grams. 4 kilograms of ethanol gets put through here before it gets cold enough to go out. And this is at 8 degrees. Why is it at 8 and not less? Maybe they dropped off ethanol that was hotter. It's the only thing I can think of that would make it hotter. What's going on right there? That's dirt. No dirt. Okay. Let's do a little bit more dig over here. First, I don't want to deconstruct first. Just in case it gets stuck. And then ladder. Although they can get across here, they can't dig everything without those ladders. Now I can deconstruct all of this. Because they shouldn't get stuck unless they can't dig abyssal. Oh, we also have this going. And that will, over time, drip into the salt water. Analyze it. Are there any other geysers I didn't analyze? I didn't do the water yet. And there's salt right there, or sand. Here's the other steam generator. Why is this being dug? Because it's coal. So there's more igneous and more coal in here. So now the only thing that we're not getting from is this one, which sounds like it's currently giving some. So if I just go like this and then 3, 6, 7, 8, just to make sure. That will heat up the area, but it shouldn't damage anything. And there goes my alarm. So we'll wait and make sure that they build and dig all of that, because there shouldn't be anything else for them to build. We have stuff set up for petroleum, but we don't have it being supplied yet. We have all of this spaghetti done. This may be temporary and may be permanent. We could also just go up the top of this instead of going down and around, but I think it's going to get even more complicated if we go up and over. We also never connected this back in, so we don't have bristle blossoms being done. Deconstruct all of that, deconstruct this, and this. And I'm just going to go like this. We'll do a little bit of weird back and forth. Alright, so if we go over what we did, we pretty much got all of our liquids filtered out. The only things we don't have in here is the aqua tuners for the puff range, which that's going to be fun getting liquid out of here for that, with all these pipes in the way. How is the picture done for that? Oh. I pretty much put every steam generator on its own pipe in, instead of it being all connected in. They're pretty much all on their own, except for these three. These three were connected together. Is this low enough that we can mop it? No, this area is, can get rid of all that liquid. This is also a bunch of liquid that we can get rid of. Let's get rid of that. If I stay right here, we can probably get this. Let's get this queued up to be mopped at least. As Liam does more, we get more out of here. Look at that. There's an Altaria in chat if anyone wants one. So that means no more you. Someday they'll do it. There we go. Get that cobalt generator back in there. Also get rid of those. How did they do over here? They do have this ready. So let's dig all that out, analyze it for as long as we can without getting hurt. That can get done when we come back. I don't have to wait for it to get done if we read out now. This is almost done being analyzed. So is this one. So they're doing their best in trying to analyze everything. And I don't think I missed anything. We haven't gotten into polluted oxygen yet. That'll be done in the future. Because we're going to probably have to set up this whole system over there, at least temporarily, and then we'll deconstruct stuff when we get to the... when we get rid of it. Let's do a mop command on the sides. Try and clean up that. That is liquid. They dug all this out. It is set to be analyzed. How far is this going to drip? Because if it drips too far, it's going to cause issues below. It should stop right here. Just because I am a tiny bit scared, I'm going to put another thing there. Alright, we are looking pretty darn close to being done everything I have planned. I never tried to get all the volcanoes before, so I've gone a little bit further than I have before. We do need to set up oil in all of this. We want to capture that, put that in its own room. We want to get the oil from right here as well. We have the water geyser here, which we're going to tame and have that cool down and then supply it into all of this. So that when we take a look at the oil thing, what is it? It's in base, isn't it? Is it power? It's not power. What is it? Is it utilities? The oil well. Occasionally we're going to have to release the carbon, or not the carbon, the natural gas that builds up in it. If the water going in is too hot, it will off gas into steam into the room. So I'm going to cool down this 95-degree water. Just one aqua tuner. So it's going to come up, it's going to go in, it's going to come back out. It doesn't have to get cooled down further than that, because it shouldn't get hotter than that. Then it's going to be piped into 3 different generators. Because the oil wells shouldn't give out a full thing of oil. No, it's a third of a pipe. So if you put 3 oil wells on one pipe, that's the entire pipe there. This little leaky oil feeder that's right here barely puts out even a third of a pipe, so I'm not too worried about that. Plus it's going to go automatically down, and it's going to have priority over this pipe. So this is going to back up lightly, not very noticeably, but slightly. And then we're going to use the 2 cool steam vents to produce steam in this area while the volcanoes are not producing anything. So I hope you guys are excited for that. We're going to have to drop all of the liquids we have in this entire colony so that we can filter out what liquids we don't want turn into gas, like the ethanol. So maybe that's what we'll do in the next stream on Thursday. We'll open up the entire base and clean up all the liquids. We're going to have to filter through this to get all of the oil out. We are filtering the polluted water and regular water as it's high enough to go in here. But eventually that's going to get hot and turn into steam due to this volcano, which is about to go off in half a cycle. Oh, we should also do a little bit of that. Try and get all that stuff out of there. Alright, let's take our picture. Welcome in, Regus. Simply freeze all of that liquid. Unfortunately, 2 of these liquids do not freeze. There's no way I'm going to spend the time to freeze ethanol down to 114 minus, or negative 114. And oil, actually oil's pretty close. I could freeze the oil very quickly, but I'm not going to spend the time to do ethanol's freezing point. Although, you know, you make a good point, Regus, because we could freeze the other 3 liquids, which should all freeze around 0. Oh, that's negative 20. That's pretty much oil at that point. No, we're not going to freeze it. But what I'm more worried about is the ethanol in the areas, and if there's any remaining oil. I think we might want to kill all the slicksters. But like there's water here, water there, ethanol here. So we're gonna raid out now. Let's zoom out, take our picture. I just want to get as much of this colony as I can in the view. So we'll get it right here. After the autosave, I'm gonna do the picture. There we go. Let's do a hard save.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.